How much would people pay for these white balls? $92 million paid already. And for this nice land plot in the middle of Decentraland Metaverse, how much do you think? $2.5 million? Not for sale anymore, because it's already bought. And what would you say about an opportunity to invest in virtual land plots in a blockchain game that hasn't even come out yet? Don't judge too quickly. In the first 4 days, $52 million worth of digital land has been sold. Almost nothing is left now. Today, practically every hour brings news that someone is releasing, buying, selling, and most importantly, making a fortune on the new oil and the buzzword of the year, NFTs. Buzzword's not a metaphor. The frequency of NFT searches has surged by 11,000% in 1 year. An NFT is a unique digital certificate that says that this picture, this meme, this virtual plot of land belongs to this person. The certificate can't be forged because it's based on blockchain. Say you have an empty book, and in it you start recording all the expenses of the government officials, and the recordings are accessible to anyone. And then someone approaches you, as the owner of the book, with a request. Could you maybe remove this entry and put that my wife bought it? Oh yes, we're long divorced. First, the name blockchain makes it clear that it's a chain of interconnected blocks, and if you want to change one record, you have to change all of them. Second, blockchain records are not actually stored in any one book, but in millions of separate computers spread around the world. NFTs run on Ethereum, which is essentially the second most important cryptocurrency in the world after Bitcoin. And to keep this whole operation going, calculations performed, new blocks created, and transactions between people happening. Every hour, those computers consume as much electricity as the whole population of the Netherlands. But why waste so much energy? So no one can get into the chain of blocks. The security is ensured by those same millions of computers spread around the world. And there's no single kill switch for someone to tamper with the system. So all these guys who are buying pictures, memes, and virtual land for stupid sums of money, they're just investing in something that they can resell in the future. What's the value proposition, yes? So then what's the value of this bronze piece of art? Just so you know, this is the most expensive sculpture ever. In 2015, it sold for $154 million. Why invest in this virtual land? Apparently people believe this metaverse or this game will become super popular. And the real estate in it will sell, considering the flats and these human anthills in the middle of nowhere do. Our lives are clearly moving online, and it makes sense to look for these assets there, just as people once searched for gold in California or Alaska, and then in the same way searched all over the world for oil. Here again, I anticipate a question. Since when did blockchain and NFTs suddenly become the future? Oil is easy for us to understand today. It's used for petrol, paraffin, and a bajillion other products that we can't live without. But it wasn't always like that. In the beginning, oil in the form of paraffin was just burned in lamps.
In 1850, a lamp capable of efficiently burning a refined product of petroleum was invented.
So in this case of NFTs, we shouldn't focus on the hype around multi-million-dollar memes, but on the fact that this could be our ticket to the future with new power structures. Let's take games as an example. When you buy a unique in-game item, you're not actually buying it, you're renting it from the developer. Because the owner of the game, just as a de facto owner of a country, if they want, could ban your account or ban you. NFT games are the opposite. Items, characters, everything belongs to you. What's more, you can easily make them and transparently monetize them, trade tokens on crypto exchanges, or even convert them into cash. You may have heard about the Axie Infinity game. The idea is that you buy pets, like these monsters, and either breed them or put them up for sale, so that you get the most purebred guys. And it's quite similar to breeding dogs in the real world. People do make money on it, and plenty of people buy purebred dogs. And in the game, there's also a second strategy. Get yourself a gang of inglorious bastards and start winning online fights. The tougher your guys get, the more often you win, and the more in-game tokens you can earn. And you can convert these tokens into cryptocurrency, which in turn trades for real money. But there's a catch. You pay for everything you do in-game. First, you turn real money into Ethereum, then you convert Ethereum into an in-game crypto. You pay a fee for every transaction. Each pet, each breeding also costs money. I mean, tokens. Basically, it's just like I told you in the video about the metaverse, an online world of the future with its own online economy. And these casual NFT games are just the beginning. Next, we'll have a real AAA NFT world on Unreal Engine 5. If you don't know what that is, check this out. That's Neo and Trinity from The Matrix in real life, and this is them on Unreal Engine 5.
We wondered about digital faces that could become immortal.
Hi, I'm Carrie-Anne Moss, and I played Trinity in the Matrix films.
Games with hyper-realistic graphics and in-game economies where you'll be able to earn NFT tokens in virtual reality and then convert them into dollars or yuan or buy yourself something nice for dinner. All of this has the potential to bring millions or even billions of people into this new Matrix.
How do we know what is real?
Obviously, games on this scale would only be possible for large game studios with very deep pockets, but the financial incentive here is not great. It is beyond astronomical. Axie Infinity is already generating hundreds of millions of dollars in trades every week. Players become true owners of their characters, items, or land through NFTs and start making money from it. It's full of young guys from developing countries like Brazil or Indonesia. They see that they have a better chance of making good money in the game than anything they can make in real life in their own countries. Here's an illustration of this closer to home. Our great-grandparents were farmers and earned a living by working the fields. Our grandparents no longer wanted to work the fields. They wanted to work in city factories and plants. Our parents didn't want to work in factories and became engineers, worked in research institutes and then in offices. I didn't want to work in a field or a factory. I don't particularly like it in an office either. And our children won't need either the fields, factories, and offices, or YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. The virtual worlds with NFTs. Wait, what's wrong with YouTube? It'll just become obsolete along with other platforms of the current Web 2.0 era. What's that? When the internet first appeared, it was essentially a digital library. You went to different websites and you could only read and see what the developers and site owners had put up there. You had no control over the content. You could only consume it. We call that Web 1.0.
Interactive appetite, searching for a website, a window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the internet.
Everything changed when the viewers became active participants. Social media platforms emerged like YouTube, and we all rushed together to create a huge amount of content, comments, photos, and videos. But who owns it all? Yes, legally all photos and videos are supposedly ours, but we license them out to these corporations. But even that's not the point. In return for using all these free services, we give away our data. Everything we say, upload, visit, it's all sold to advertisers. You're not worried? I understand. But as far back as the 19th century, this middle-aged man made a lot of money from valuable information he got ahead of everyone else in the stock market. His name, Nathan. May sound unfamiliar to you, but his surname, Rothschild, you've certainly heard of. Nathan Rothschild established an undeniable fact. Those who hold the information hold the world. Who holds the information about us? Who can manipulate us with this information? And any platform, no matter how free it may seem, has some form of censorship. All our content has to conform to somebody else's ideas. Yes, the strength of the internet is that content is created for free by billions of people spread across the planet. But the weakness of it is that all this power is concentrated in the hands of a dozen corporations, and these corporations themselves can at any moment be summoned to answer before a government. So, Web 3.0 is supposed to be the rebirth of the internet powered by blockchain. Let's sober up then with a couple of warnings about the over-reliance on blockchain. There was a crypto exchange called Binance, the largest one in the world. Today, it's being investigated for tax fraud and money laundering. The NFT market is full of insiders. They buy the NFTs low in private auctions and then, as soon as they go public, sell them before they inevitably plummet. Profiteers. Some crypto projects are just obvious Ponzi schemes that rake in money from gullible investors. That is what happened with Squid, a cryptocurrency based on the TV series Squid Game. The developers promised to launch game contests just like on TV, sold over $3 million worth of participation tokens, and then suddenly dumped the tokens and disappeared with all the hard cash. And most importantly, let's go back to the graphs of how much electricity it costs to support Bitcoin or Ethereum. Crypto mining has become 10 times more energy intensive in a year. How much electricity will it require if its explosive growth continues? After all, any fantasy always has to be supported by existing technologies. So for now, the only place to find Web 3.0 is Elon Musk's tweets. Has anyone seen Web3? I can't find it. If you like the video below, you'll find the tools to help share it with others, and I will see you in the future.